Back at E3 2016, Sony announced that Crash Bandicoot's original trilogy was getting remastered for the PS4. And before that day was even over, people were already asking, and what about Spyro? People started speculating immediately that Spyro's remake would follow Crash's. So when the Insane Trilogy released last year to major acclaim, I'll be with more precise jumping, there was one thing that stood out. Up, up, down, down, left, right, square. That was the code you put into Crash Warped to give you a demo of Spyro the Dragon. And putting that in Insane Trilogy did something. It was enough to convince people Spyro was coming. And finally in April this year, after months of silence from Activision, it was announced that Skylander developer Toys for Bob was bringing the original trilogy to a new generation, with a planned release that September 21st, 1 week after my birthday. Like history was coming full circle. Sadly, things are never set in stone, and after it came out that only the first game would be on the disc with the other two needing to be downloaded, a backlash ensued, and it was then announced the game would be delayed 6 weeks to put all 3 games on the disc. At least that's what we thought. See, when the game finally came out 2 weeks ago, the second and third game still need to make a major download. Also, way to go ACB, covering Spyro's nostril like that. The Australian Classification Board. We're not as bad as USK, but we're close. Delving into the first game made me realise something. The original script kind of sucked, so when it's brought to HD, it's even more hilarious. The opening sees Nasty Nork watching TV while being a slob before turning everyone into crystal. Okay, seriously, I tried avoiding this comparison last time, but this time you had him eating chicken! You could be more obvious if you tried! So as for the game, oh my god, look at it! It's so gorgeous, it's so beautiful! Every detail looks so brilliantly designed, my eyeballs are melting, it looks so good! So, yeah, it looks alright. A lot of attention has been put into making this remake as close to the original as it could be, which was a great accomplishment as the original source code has been long gone. Every gem, every ledge, everything is just like it was 20 years ago, but with the power of Unreal 4 behind it. The amount of polygons used in the original game in its entirety are probably used for Spyro's redesign alone. It's the little things too, like how the grass gets singed every time you breathe fire. However, the extra detail on grass can make gems hard to find. There were a few times where I was scouring the map trying to find that one lone gem. It wasn't until later that I discovered pressing L3 would have Sparks point out the nearest gem, something the game could have really pointed out once or twice. The use of modern controls also works out great, with the right stick being used for the camera. However, while they added fire on R2, for some reason charge isn't L2, making it so charging and using the camera at the same time almost impossible. There are other issues as well. The handling of Spyro's charge using the thumbstick is very loose, and more often I had to reach for the D-pad. Modern controls have also made some levels incredibly more easy. When I played the original, Agent 9's level in Fireworks Factory was one of the worst levels I had to deal with. But now, with an added stick, the game plays like a real first-person shooter. I actually cleared with no damage at all. And while all 3 games have the mechanics and layouts to their particular original title, Spyro 1 now has the 10 butterflies equal a new life feature. That said, would it have really been that complicated to include hover as well? Sparks is another issue entirely. It takes a good moment for the butterflies to emerge from critters, and then another moment for him to eat it. Even worse, there are times he will straight up refuse to pick up a gem, even one right in front of him. But they did include his health colors on the PS4 light bar. That was a nice little feature. Okay, I'm being far too negative here, aren't I? Yeah. Let's talk about what they did right. And holy shit, did they do a lot right. Firstly, every single dragon you free has been redesigned from the ground up. Having more memory than our wristwatch this time means every dragon can come off as unique, with artist dragons, chef dragons, buff dragons, old dragons, and of course, useless dragons.
Thank you for releasing me.
Nasty Nork, despite sitting on his ass and having motivational posters everywhere, definitely looks more threatening than he did 20 years ago. That being said, he also managed to downplay the scare factor of some of the creatures. High caves, bugs, and the eating trees are nearly as terrifying, and even the giant dogs are still as horrifying as ever. They even censored aspects of the game, with the Norks of Twilight Harbor having visited Inkopolis and traded their machine guns for ink splattering guns. But let's get on with the second game in the series, Ripto's Rage. Yeah, no rename for the Power Region this time. Yes! This game benefits the most from the HD remastering. Hunter has some actual character about him, Ripto just looks like even more of an asshole, and Moneybags, I just want to torch his suit even more now. But then there is Allura, and holy crap, she is just adorable! And it's obvious from the start she has a serious thing for Spyro. Even that little tail wiggle in the third game.
Are you gonna visit me in Avalar?
Sure, Allura.
Yeah, you know she wants the D. D as in dragon. And D as in dick! But if you thought Allura was adorable, just wait until you meet Sheila, who looks great for a stereotypical Aussie Sheila. But I find hard to believe she can kick like that. How can you kick like that when you lack a waist? But then there is Bianca, and okay, seriously, what is with us and bunnies? Whether it's Lola, Judy, or Jessica, why do we need to make bunnies sexy? It's fucking like rabbits, not fucking rabbit-like. The Spyro Reignited trilogy is perfect for all gamers, from old jaded ones like myself wanting to relive the old days, and younger gamers who want to see where that character from Skylanders got his start. There are some things I wish were available though, like leaderboards with the flying levels, or maybe even a new game plus for older gamers who know the Arsene world like the back of their hand, with harder boss battles and different locations for gems. That said, the work Toys for Bob put into the Reignited trilogy was absolutely incredible, and I would love for them to take those models and make a real Spyro the Dragon 4. Anything to retcon that which I cast back into the fires of Mount Doom. As we reach the end of this tale, I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey. It was great to relive these memories once again. It was like running into an old friend you hadn't seen in years and reminiscing on days gone by. And while we may not see each other again for a while, we still treasure the days we once had, and always will. I'll see you all next time.
What will you do next? I'd say the sky's the limit.